going. So thank you for attending this week's session on the Chamber Market support. We are going to do something a little bit different because we have the Lloydminster team basically online and Bonnyville as well. And the students have been working on putting businesses up on the Lloyd Shop Local Market. So I figured we would just do like an open Q&A based on your current experience with it. And then if we need to go into specific things, walk through or help you guys with that. And then Lindsay, from your perspective, have you started onboarding Chamber members yet, or this is just a get more information so that you're ready when the time comes for you to pull the trigger?
Yeah, we're not onboarding yet.
Okay.
Hopefully soon, but not yet.
Okay. And then before we get started in the open Q&A, kind of the timeline that we're looking at is the chambers that are in the beta program right now are meant to identify areas that might be friction for members or businesses so that we could make it easier for them to post their products or services into the marketplace. And then when we do the official live launch, which from what I hear, it'll be within 2 or 3 weeks from now where it's going to officially be live, then the next members that go into the marketplace will have the best possible user experience to list and post their products and services.
So is it technically not live right now? Like if we have some businesses that want to put some products on, and I know we have to approve it first before we see it. Like we haven't had the chance to approve any products yet.
Yeah, so maybe we'll cover a couple of things. If I go to, is my screen shared here? Let me just see.
Yeah.
It is, okay. So if I go to alberta.chamberchannel.ca and I click on the directories for chambers, okay, I should be able to see the beta chambers only at this point on the directory that is listed. And I'll go to the Lloyd Chamber. So if we look at all products, you are right that we don't see any products listed. So the reason that is, how many businesses have you guys pre-populated in the marketplace?
We have 5 that are coming on board and like are in the process of like creating their own accounts. They're gonna start doing Bambora right away, but our chamber's waiving the $25 activation fee through Bambora, so we're waiting for that. They said that was going to happen sometime this week, so we're kind of on a hold, but I want to know once that gets going, will we be able to approve, and then will people be able to shop what we have, or what's this live launch in 2 or 3 weeks?
So okay, so the first question on Bambora, your merchants or your members will have to go through the Bambora process, to be able to accept payment on the platform. The Bambora process is kind of a 2-step approach. The first one is an application, and then the second one is Bambora sending $1 deposit into their account with a confirmation code to make sure that that business's bank account is the correct one where their transactions will be deposited to. Once those 2 steps are complete, then that member's merchant account is considered live. And then they can post products and services into your Lloyd local e-commerce marketplace, which you as the chamber administrator and your students will have the ability to review them and then approve them for public listing. So theoretically, if you have one member that does that today and they put a post up and then you approve them, they would theoretically show quote unquote live on your site. I think the Alberta Chambers of Commerce wanted to wait for the press release information to all come out at the same time. I believe in the call that we were on earlier today, Jason said that that is coming very shortly, like within days, like maybe next week.
Yeah.
And then the 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 branding and the wording to promote both on a local level and at an Alberta Shop Local program is all consistent with all chambers across the province. So you are technically in a live environment, but because you're not drawing attention or promoting yet, it's not. You'll have your early adopter businesses that are going to be the ones you're going to work with. And in the next 2 weeks, you're going to see a lot of updates in the system, again, designed to make the process for businesses to onboard a lot smoother and easier.
Okay. Another silly question. We've been calling these chamber members and offering them our services and stuff like that. And we came across like a unique situation. There's somebody who has like, we called like a furniture store, and they have a couch that can be customized 700 different ways. And they were wondering how that works on our Chamber Market site.
So they would have to be creative or get assistance from you in a creative way on how to accomplish that. They could list the couch's base price
Yeah.
of X amount of dollars. And then with an asterisk or in the description that customization upgrades will be charged separately. That's
Okay.
one
So
possibility of doing
it's
it.
kind of just up to them on how they upload the product, right?
Correct.
And then I had another question. Somebody already uses a Shopify website, and they were wondering about merging, and I didn't have an answer for them.
So the closest thing, so the answer to them is at one point, I believe in phase 2, so in the future, they will be able to consolidate their inventories from Shopify and the Chamber Marketplace so that as they're drawing down on either store, their inventory levels will draw down together.
Oh, okay.
But as far as a true API connection where every one store sees everything the other store and vice versa, that's not going to be something that is going to be available. If you also, one way to address that is to think about the more e-commerce real estate that they're listed on, the more exposure they're going to get. So a Shopify store is fine if they want to list on Kijiji or some other platforms. But what they get in the chamber market that is different than other platforms is that the local chamber is marketing and promoting them as their shop local initiative, which there is no other marketing and promoting that is being offered in other platforms. So if I get a Shopify store, for example, great, I have a Shopify store and here's my address. There's nobody or no third party marketing and promoting my store on my behalf. And
Yeah.
that's the real value of the Chamber Marketplace.
Okay. Another silly question. My students brought up that I accidentally said that there was a 15 cent per transaction on Ombora. And I don't remember seeing that anywhere, and I don't even remember saying it. Can you verify if there's a charge besides the 4.95%?
So the Bambora merchant account that is specifically to the Chamber Market is a flat rate of 4.95% per transaction, $0 per month. What they might be confusing is if you as a business go to apply for a Bambora merchant account, not part of the Chamber Marketplace, you will pay a monthly fee and a transaction rate, and then above the transaction rate, a per transaction fee. I believe it's 30 cents. It might be 15 cents, but that might be where that came from. So yeah, to confirm, the Bambora merchant account specifically being used on the Chamber Market platform is a flat 4.95% transaction rate, $0 per month. And again, in exchange for that 4.95% transaction rate, that includes the merchant processing fee, which is normally, like if you look at PayPal or other platforms, it's 2.9%. And the additional extra is to be marketed and promoted through your shop local initiatives. That's what they're getting for value for that extra few percentage points. And of course, your local chamber is generating new non-dues revenue on every transaction of, I believe it's 1%.
Okay, and then the next question, we have somebody, their name is Designer's Choice. So basically they go into like your kitchen or garage, whatever, and then they do like consultation. So they build your cupboards from scratch, everything's custom, and they said that's way too much to put onto a website. So I offered that they just kind of put like their free consultation and like make an account with us. Do they need a Bambora account still if it's free?
Technically, yes, because when the customer purchases a $0 service or a $0 item in the store, it still gets processed through the merchant account. It still gets included in your reporting so that you can actually see everything that is being sold and everything that's being returned if there are returns. So the other thing that they could do is create a $100 consulting fee that is refundable if the client engages them in the service. So there's multiple ways that you can promote themselves in the Chamber Marketplace. But a $0 listing is doable, and that one of the earlier videos that we did in the training session shows how to do that.
Yeah, I was looking for that video and I couldn't figure out which one it was.
So if you go to repstaragencies.com Chamber Market, let's see here. So what we should do is in the naming convention, we're going to add what the topics were. I don't see that right now on here.
Okay.
But it was one of the fairly recent ones here, creating a $0 product service listing. So this was last week, actually.
Yeah, I knew there was something, but I couldn't remember where it was that I saw it.
Okay. I'll put that in the chat. Let me just see here. I'll put that URL in the chat. And if you guys want to stay up to date on any changes related to the Chamber Marketplace, you click on this link here, and then this puts you on an email list that anytime there's updates, changes, or news announcements, you'll get an email on it.
I did that already, but I just want my students to do that too.
Sure. So the link to this page is in the chat right now.
You guys know to do that? Okay. Cool.
Okay, you're on a roll. What else is on your Q&A?
I guess we're just waiting for our chamber to waive those $25 fees. Like we want to get charged directly from Bambora. We're waiving that fee for the first 150 businesses to sign on. And I don't know what's happening with that. Jason said there was something in the works.
So what I would tell your members is that to go ahead and there are two scenarios. Go ahead, open up your Bambora account. If you get the charge for the application of 25, they can submit that to you and you can reimburse them. What I believe they're working on right now is to eliminate that step so that a third party gets invoiced at $25 and your or the Alberta Chamber or your chamber or wherever the funding is coming from is going to pay that third party account. So those are the two possible ways. Either way, just let them know that part of the Shop Local initiative for helping your business is to cover that one-time fee.
Okay, yeah, we've been kind of holding off because we weren't really sure where we were at with that. But I think that's all of my questions on my papers here, but I'll open it up to the students because they're the ones who've been working on this the most. Taya, Gustavo, Amitosh, any questions? No? Okay. I'm gonna mute then and let you do your presentation.
One thing that you could do is to create like a fake business account.
I did that.
Okay, and then you could just play with it offline, or you can even use your chamber account and post items like, you can do like practice posts, just never publish them. And that's one way for your team to maybe get used to the platform.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like get them to use my fake business account.
Or not, like here, this is my account here. And if I go to all my products and services, you can see that the only one that is enabled and live is this office chairs example. And then all of these other ones I created, they're just not listed, so they don't show up anywhere. So you can actually post products or services directly from your chamber admin account, because
Okay.
your chamber can post additional products and services over and above your memberships, over and above your value-added partners.
Did you see our memberships when you went onto the directory? Because they should be
I did, yeah. So if I click on memberships, you'll see them listed.
perfect.
Then one of the things that your team could do is create images to attach to these memberships.
Yeah.
And the image could just be kind of like your logo, and then 1-year membership 301 to 500, and then like you can just create something a little bit more graphically visual as a one annual fee. And then when you created these, you used the frequency feature that bills this amount every year on a recurring basis, correct?
I don't know. I got our membership guy, Maverick, to put these on for me because he knew the most about memberships. So I can look into, there's a frequency button.
Yeah, I'll show you where that is. So the month.
Serena said she wasn't really too big on selling memberships on the Chamber Market site because we still use like the Chamber Master to power our website. And she said we're not fully ready to switch yet. So she said don't make it a big deal. And if people want to buy memberships, to kind of just go through Chamber Master for now.
Sure. So once you create your listing, there's a place where it says price, and then a field called period. You could do it one time, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually. And once that's in the system, let's say you sell the membership for $20 a month or $19.95 per month. Every month, the system will automatically do that. And if the payment is missed, you'll get an instant notification to try to rectify. It could be a credit card that is no longer valid or whatnot, and then have an opportunity to fix that. And if you do monthly or weekly or quarterly, that is where you change the frequency. And another thing that could be done here is if you have an event or like a training session that you're charging members to attend, like a virtual networking event, let's say, and it's even if it's $5 to attend the virtual networking event, you can create these services and list them and then promote them and then get paid in the platform for an event, as an example.
Okay.
Same thing goes if you do like down the road, if you're doing trade shows, or if you have an AGM meeting or an awards gala ceremony where people pay the chamber amount to attend, you can run all of that within the chamber channel platform.
Yeah, because eventually the end goal, because I only started like 3 weeks ago, but eventually the end goal is to basically have Chamber Master switched out with this, right?
Yeah, 100%. Any other questions from your team members?
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. You mentioned something about the services, right? So when we add that, do we go to add a product, but then we would add the service name and how much it would be, or the consultation fee?
Correct. So I'll give you an example here, a sample service, and then you would write the description, and then in the category, you would just select service if it's a service. You would pop your image here. And then these categories are also going to be updated as we go forward. If you see any, we're trying to keep them as broad as possible to not have hundreds and hundreds of descriptions. So if it's a service, like a consulting service or whatnot, you would choose that, choose the picture. You can then put tags, like if it's a mortgage broker service as an example, or whatever the service is. I pressed on enter instead of tab here, so that's my fault. And you put a comma, and then you would put financial, whatever the tags are, and you put a price. If it's a consultation for a service and you want to have a $0 fee, you would put $0. It's a one-time transaction. And I believe that's all you would need. If you're missing something, the system will give you an error message, missing field, required field. In this case, everything was there. I go to list all of my products, and now you can see the sample service that I created here.
I just remembered something. We have a liquor store. Lloydminster is so weird. So half of us are Saskatchewan and Alberta, right? So they can only sell to Saskatchewan. So they know that they can put an age limit, but they're not sure if there is a province restriction. Is that kind of too early in the game to bring up, or?
No. So, and by the way, I'm very familiar with Lloydminster. I've traveled there many times, and I actually have clients in Lloyd.
Okay.
But so I know exactly the challenges that you have. There's a field called age restriction. So let's say it's 21 years old. On the age restriction field, when you create that listing, there will be a like an asterisk that would say this product is has an age restriction. Proof of ID will be required on confirmation of order or on delivery or something like that. But you as the chamber have no legal implications around that, because the chamber is not selling anything. It would be the liquor store or the merchant that is selling an age required product or service. And then it's up to them when the customer comes in to pick up the item, or when they're doing the delivery, the onus is on them to verify that the person that they're selling the product to is of legal age within that jurisdiction.
So some kids want to buy some liquor from from Alberta. Or sorry, I gotta think about this question. But however, so because the drinking age in Saskatchewan is 19, no, 21, 19. 19, and then in Alberta it's what age? 18. So some kids from Alberta want to buy from the Saskatchewan liquor store. It would almost be better to have it as a pickup so that they can read the ID and verify and make sure.
Correct.
Right? You wouldn't want to do deliveries. So we can have liquor stores, and we'll just have to explain the age restrictions.
Right, which nothing changes as to what they're currently obliged to do to follow the law.
Right. So, yeah, so just have it as a pickup. We won't deliver, I guess.
Yeah, and then the delivery thing, that's something that is going to, take a while to provide the delivery service. So think of it for the first companies that the Chamber Market is a shop local e-commerce marketplace for the area, and that the business can list and get promoted by the Chamber and get promoted with your shop local initiative campaigns. but
Yeah.
the delivery aspect or the pickup aspect is still 100% the responsibility of that merchant or the business, same as if they were to sell on any other platform.
Okay. I think that's all my questions now.
Okay. And then in the future, if the crowdsourced delivery service is enabled for your region within the platform, then you can announce that as an additional option that merchants may want to opt in or not. But I would not talk about that at this point until it's something that your whole team or your whole region does an assessment on.
Okay.
I have a question. One of the stores I'm holding asked if there's a way to like, 'cause they have Shopify, like their website, and they're wondering if they could manage Shopify inventory and Chamber Market
We
inventory.
already talked about this.
So yeah, the answer to that would be that the inventory can be managed together, but there's no way to connect both marketplaces so that they're working with each other.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Sorry.
Yeah, I think one of your team members, I think it was Gustavo maybe that said something. Anyways, so yeah, that's the answer to the question. Inventory will be able to be shared, but not a true synchronization of all items and products in the platform. Anyone else with questions?
Yes, I was just wondering, does a business's profile have to be 100% complete before we can accept it? Like before the chamber can accept it and then they can start listing products? Or is it okay because leaving it at like 88% or whatever percentage it's at?
So the percentage of the profile buildup does not need to be 100.
Okay.
They just won't show up with a picture or they won't have a description.
Okay.
So it is not a required dependency to be able to start putting products or services on the marketplace.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Lindsay, do you have anything that comes to mind that you think you're going to be facing when you start rolling this out?
The only thing I was wondering is typically how long does it take for a business to kind of upload their products and descriptions and all that kind of stuff? Like, is it a lot of administrative work for them?
It's super easy. So if the business has ever posted something on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, it's very similar in the steps required. You upload an image, you have a title, you put a description, you put a price, and then you publish it. So it's super, super simple for anyone who's done any posting of any product or on any site.
Okay, thank you.
I'll just check the messages here. So there was a message. Yeah, so the link to receive updates, if you go to repstaragencies.com, which is my company, we are one of the 3 entities that are rolling out the Chamber Channel platform with the Alberta Chambers of Commerce. So repstaragencies.com/Chamber Market, right on the top. So you'll see this when you scroll in. Right on the top below this logo, there's a stay up to date on Chamber Market e-commerce web stores. Click here. That's where you go to opt in to the update e-newsletter. For Margaret, that was a question Margaret posted. Okay, one last chance before we close off. Is there any other comments or questions?
I went on that Chamber Market to sign up for the updates, and I don't have, it's not showing up to me. It just says sign up and required fields. That's all.
Okay,
None of the blanks.
I will paste the direct URL. You want to try to click on that link to see if it gives you something different?
Sure.
Does that show the fields properly?
The only link I have is the one you sent earlier.
Oh, sorry. I sent that to, it was set to direct. Hang on one second here. My bad. Here we go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I got it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And if you have businesses that want to get support as well, feel free to invite them. This weekly session is open for any user of the platform from anywhere. So it's wide open for everyone. Have a good rest of your day, guys and gals.
You too. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.